Okay, this is a meeting of the Town of South Kingstown Sustainability Committee, July 21st, 2025, starting at 6:03 PM. Can someone take notes until Elizabeth gets here?
Sure.
Thanks.
Does anyone have paper?
I used facts.
Oh. I'll take it. Here, just take the whole thing, it's fine. No. Thanks.
Okay, roll call.
Christine Mueller.
Janine Silversmith.
Kim Falcone.
Joanne Riccitelli.
Mark Russo, staff liaison. And
Charlotte Canner, recycling coordinator.
Great.
So, do you want to say it's noted that Gail Meisner is
yeah.
out on vacation, and
Well, Gail is otherwise detained. Patrick
Okay.
is away. And we're expecting Elizabeth.
Okay.
We shall see. So, minutes from the May meeting. Did everybody have a chance to look? Any?
Do we have to change the date to the correct date?
No, I don't think so. The next meeting, you mean?
Yeah.
Because it couldn't have been at the time the meetings were
It already
tabled.
says that it's changed.
Oh, really?
Didn't it? Oh, no, it doesn't. Yeah. There was a change in date already at that time, but there was a further change.
Oh, another change, right. Okay.
Do we have an issue because I wasn't at that meeting?
No, I think, oh,
well, it shows in the meeting minutes that you weren't, your name is not checked, so it means you were not present. And on the other side, on the right-hand side, it shows that you were
But
absent.
Right, but just in terms of a quorum to vote?
So do you
Minutes.
want to just table this until?
yeah, we'll wait. Any correspondence?
It was an email
Me.
from Charlotte. So,
Good deal.
And I don't even remember what it said. I think it was just.
Said you'd talk to us some more.
Yes, okay, sounds good. And here I am.
And here you are. So let's start. First discussion item.
Okay. Well, thanks for having me again. As I was talking to Kim before, I'm still a little unsure on my role with the sustainability committee, but I'm happy to be join any and all meetings that you want me at. I'm the only person who works in solid waste at South Kingstown, so it's nice to have kind of a sounding board for people. So if you're open to that, I'm
Totally.
happy to report what I'm doing and get feedback from you. So I will give you a quick update from what I talked about last week, but I just want to share some things that I have worked on. I did a composting presentation at Clark Farms. I did table one farmer's market for South Kingstown Farmers Market. It was kind of slow that day, so I realized farmers markets are not the place to go for people who need help with recycling and composting, because they tend to be, people are pretty knowledgeable. I presented the first of a 3-part series at the South Kingstown Library. So I'm doing 3 months in a row. First one was just recycling and composting. Next I'll focus on reducing waste and recycling. And the third one will be on reducing food waste and more in depth on composting.
Are you going to different libraries, or is it all in the same?
It's all going to be Kingston Library.
Kingston.
But I'm open to doing it again at Peacedale, and then I'm actually going to start the same series 1 month later in Narragansett as well. And everyone's invited
Nice.
to
Cool.
that, yeah.
Did you have a good turnout for that?
It was about 7 or 8 people, which I think is pretty standard.
Yeah.
Because that's the same turnout for the Clark Farms presentation.
that's-
7 or 8 people in person is kind of
Mhm.
the goal these days. And then I also wrote a composting guide for South Kingstown and and Narragansett and put it on the website. It's just kind of felt like we needed our own thing.
Nice.
So
Yes,
yes. Next time I'll bring copies. I forgot to bring copies this time. Some ideas for the future that in addition to what I'll talk about here, I'm thinking of doing a town survey to get feedback from the residents of how we can improve recycling and composting. I'm going to work with the school recycling project at Broad Rock Middle School. In November, they're going to start. And then Oh, okay. And then I would like to get into some like HOAs or like communities to maybe do presentations there, like more like focused on those communities. So if you have any contacts or anything.
I'm not on the board of my HOA, thank God. But if you wanted Tuft Hill, which has 220,
Oh, wow.
I think 220 houses in Tuft Hill, I can connect you. Tuft Hill, TEFFT. It's off of South Road, opposite the old South Road School, where South Road School used to be.
Okay, well, if you, I'll follow up with you if you want
Yeah.
to send me just.
Or if I think about it.
Send a note to the HOA and just
Yeah.
say, want to do some sort of recycling or
Yeah.
presentation like that. Happy to do that.
And you can use my name and say, I suggested, like a
Okay.
resident of Tuft Hill, Janine Silversmith.
Okay.
They know my name a little bit from other things, but,
That's good.
and I'm sorry, I'm not as good as Elizabeth.
I talk really fast too, so sorry.
It's all right. I like the fast talking, but you were talking about HOAs, a school recycling project, and then there was something you said.
Oh, I was thinking of putting together a town survey to get feedback from the town. I don't know how that's going to work, but I feel like I just want to know what people are thinking about
Yeah.
recycling and composting. And then my last thing I'll say is I'm going to try to pursue the idea of doing like a pumpkin smash event in November where people can bring their pumpkins and it's mostly for kids, smash them, play baseball with them, whatever, hopefully safely, and compost them. And Earth Care Farm said that they would be willing to take them for a small fee, so we'll see. But that could be fun.
So people often go to, if they're still doing it, Farmer's Daughter with the trebuchet. Fling the pumpkins.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a way to, they probably compost them there.
Yeah.
Do they charge?
I don't know.
Okay.
I've gone to watch, I haven't
Yeah.
brought anything to hurl.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you have to buy a pumpkin to hurl it or you bring your own or where it goes.
But I don't know if you pay to do it.
I'll reach out to them for sure because I've heard that's
Or
very
at least
popular.
to not have it on the same day.
Yes,
Because it is
that's
very
true.
popular.
That is a good
Yes.
point, yeah. And someone from Matunic Elementary said they might be willing to host it. I thought it would be fun for a school to host it because it kept the kids involved.
Mhm.
That's
I would obviously turn it into a composting awareness event because that's everything I do.
And then maybe, I mean, if you wind up doing that, maybe the sustainability committee could have like a table and we can take those of us that are available could take turns talking to people and asking them if they want more information and things like that. I think we can always say no or we can't do it, but I feel like you should ask us if we want to get involved in it.
And it's at Matunic School?
Well, this is I thought of it
Ideas.
last week,
Okay.
so it's a very, very early idea, but I thought it would be fun. Yeah, so
I
it
live
would be cool. It might
nearby,
be.
so
Okay.
I could come to that.
Question: how will you do publicity for that? Because we want to reach people who,
Exactly.
who may not.
Way over here.
Yeah. How can we attract people and let them know?
Yeah.
Well, I think that's why doing it with a school would be good because we have that built-in
That's
community
good,
right
yes.
there, and then maybe I know Broad Rock School is already going to start composting at their school in November, so maybe they could also encourage their families to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of why. And I was thinking of bringing in URI if Matunic School doesn't want to host. Maybe URI would consider hosting it, but the little kids probably might have more fun.
I have found that the schools are, as a whole, are very open to spreading the word about town things, especially. There was a time, when my kids first started school here, 15 years ago, that we were getting, lots of flyers about, fundraisers for things, and then they kind of, drill down on, what you can advertise about.
Yeah.
And if it's a town-sponsored event, especially if it's going to be at a school or have something to do with the schools, they're pretty good about getting the word out. It's a fairly new superintendent. Is he 1 year in already? Oh my gosh, where did that year go? I'm like, he just started July 1st last year. And so either his office or contacting the main offices, or they're pretty good about, if you send it to them, they'll just send it to their whole email list.
Do you think you'll have the survey that you're thinking about out before that?
Oh, I have no idea. It's just an idea. So it's just a project on my list. probably should work on getting it out before fall because then people leave and aren't around as much. So that would be definitely the goal, to probably get it out.
It's good to have
before, like,
goals.
October at least. I know I need to set deadlines for myself because there's not.
No, I
really-
meant like it's good to have goals, but we don't always meet them.
Oh.
That's what I meant. Like
Yes.
set goals, but then
Yeah, no, I need to set goals and deadlines because this is all just like self-generated ideas. So I need to self-generate some deadlines as well. It's nice to have these monthly meetings so I can be like, okay, let me get this done for the
Yeah.
sustainability committee.
I was just thinking that we've had, well, the last forum we had was last November?
yeah, the water resources
November,
forum.
It'd be nice to do something pretty much every year or maybe a year and a bit, so maybe if we hear from people what they're interested in and we could decide what we're going to do, we could advertise it at this event and
That's a good idea.
hone it there and maybe plan it for like a January something, depending on
Yeah.
what kind of comes back.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to kind of think about what do we want to
Mm-hmm.
tell people about next.
Yeah, I mean, the goal of the survey is really just to find out, like, are you recycling? Why not? What could make it easier? Like, what's missing? And then, of course, gaining interest or gauging interest in composting as well. But just like trying to reach more people because there's a certain crowd comes to the farmers market, a certain crowd
Yeah.
will come to the library talk. But I want to be able to make it like really easy, like put a link on the, the website, this town website, signs at the library, anything just to get it out to like more people,
Yeah.
more variety of people to get feedback. And then from there, once I get the feedback, then I can adjust outreach as needed.
It would be
I think that was an employee or that he probably had a key to get in, right? Is the door locked? He already came in.
Oh, you know what?
It looked
Let's
like
see
one of
him
those
locking up.
town vehicles.
my guy.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Oh, it would be interesting to know which village in the town people in the survey. It's always so easy when you're not the one developing the survey. To be like, can you put it in this question? But it would be neat to hear like It would be neat to hear like, or to be able to analyze like what are the answers from, Wakefield versus Matunic versus Peacedale versus Kingston versus all the however many villages we have. How many villages do we have?
13.
13. Good job.
Wow, I didn't ever. That's
That's a
amazing,
good number.
isn't it?
It is.
That's a
It's huge,
this is a
but
big
people
one.
don't identify that many of them. But it'd be nice to, once you have a draft of what you think you want to ask, I can think of all sorts of things we'd like to ask, like
Yeah.
like whether or not, if we're focusing on food composting or recycling
for the
more
survey,
generally.
it would be probably both. Definitely recycling. And then maybe getting a feel of the composting interest and like what people want for composting. But I think it's a lot of recycling because I just don't understand why people are recycling personally. But it would be both in theory. But I'm happy to, have a draft and get your feedback on it.
Cool.
One question is, there could be many meaningful questions that will be valuable. Would the quantity of questions prevent some people to
Yeah.
participate?
Absolutely, yeah.
Would you need to prioritize what is really important and just have 3 or 5 questions, something like that?
I think I agree. Yeah, I don't want like a 30-page or a 30-question survey, but I'm going to try to maybe just draft a bunch of questions, and a lot of them will probably be similar that we could kind of meld into one. And then, pick, I feel like 10 max would probably be.
And it depends on how easy of a.
Yeah.
If it's click, 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 fine,
Right.
you can do more. But if it's open ended, then you
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
limit.
Some of them will just be like, do you recycle? Or like,
Yeah.
what hauler do you use? Or like something,
Yeah.
do you go to the transfer station? Things like that. So some of them will be easy and some will require a little bit of thought.
Cool. That's awesome.
So,
That's
thanks.
excellent.
I'm trying to keep busy here.
We have a list, just so you know, Charlotte. We have a list of like people who've come to our forums a contact list that we never, I don't know if we never got that answer, Mark, right? Like if we can actually start a Google group to send out emails, but I'm happy to share that with you if that's, so these are your people that are most engaged, that, you know, that have come to sustainability committee events, and asked to be put on some kind of like quote unquote mailing list, which has just been like one of us emailing them for now. But just so you know that exists, and it's like, I want to say it's like 50 to 75 people. It's not gigantic, but it's not tiny either. But that might be a nice thing, like if you do have a survey or anything going on and you're like, hey, can you push it out to your people? Like
Yeah.
we can do that,
Yeah.
or share those email addresses with you. Cool.
I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I'm going to take up a little bit more of your time. Just changing the subject kind of to what I talked about last time. I presented the idea of community composting in South Kingstown, and I had a whole presentation. I'm not going to review that. But what resulted from our conversation was to investigate a few, at least one or two optional spots. I really haven't got, I'll just say I haven't gotten much further than studying this property, but I haven't actually reached out to anyone about
Gotcha.
this property. So that would probably be the next step. We talked about the Broad Rock Middle School. Well, this is the school, and that's the community garden. So I went to check out their. Sorry, does anyone need more context on what I mean when I say community composting? 'Cause I think you all saw my presentation.
I wasn't here,
Yeah.
but it's just, it's different than like the Black Earth compost pickup. It's,
It would be like composting on site, collecting food scraps from residents.
Gotcha.
So, but keeping it small to medium scale. There's a limit on how much a small scale site can have in Rhode Island. It has to be 25 yards of material on site at once.
Mhm.
I can't remember if it includes or doesn't include finished compost, but, so I'm kind of working in the small scale, so we don't have to
Gotcha.
worry about permitting.
Great.
So this is a middle school, that's this community garden. This is where they have the composting now. That site, like where it is 70 feet long. It's a pretty big spot, and it's maybe, it seems like it's 8 to 10 feet deep. If you're coming from the driveway by the schools, like there,
Mhm.
this is where this is the garden, and that's where the composting area is. And then it also has a pathway to Broad Rock Road, so someone could come up from that way if they wanted to. And so walking closer, that's where the site is. And then coming from the other direction, there's a big pile of brush and stuff like that. So this is the composting, at least maybe a month and a half ago, this is what it looked like. The bins are kind of just barely there, and there's not really much going on. It seems like they're keeping the weeds out, which is good, but I can't tell if there's like active composting happening there. Well, it says it, but again, it doesn't really look like it. And then there's like unused bins. But they're pretty big. They're probably, each bin, there's like three bins, and they're like,
It's like 8
they're
feet.
probably like 8 to 10 feet wide, and pretty deep. So there's a lot of space. And then there's also an area that looks like mulch was dumped as well, and maybe some soil. I can't really tell what that was, but there's definitely a mulch pile. That was a little separate. So I just kind of started envisioning like what it would look like, what we would need within the parameters to have a fair amount of like, be able to take in a fair amount of capacity, create a fair amount of capacity, but also be within, like, not out of control. So I kind of, this is my little diagram of my bins.
This is awesome.
So kind of looking at it, this whole thing would be like about 36 feet long. Then we could have 2 open bins to hold the wood chips and the leaves, because we need lots of carbon material on site. And then this is just a vision of like how I could maximize capacity without like overbuilding. But this is, I'm open to ideas from you all and from the garden and from everyone. I'm trying not to be too, I don't want to put my ideas on people, but this is how I was envisioning it. This would be like the first bin where we build the pile, and then, 1 to 2 weeks we move it over, and we keep every 1 to 2 weeks we move it over. And by, 4 to 8 weeks, it will have been pretty decomposed, so we could move to an open bin to continue decomposing. These would be enclosed bins with wood and wire with lids to protect from, rodents and raccoons and things getting in, and from contamination from other people putting stuff in there. But by 4 to 8 weeks, it'll be decomposed enough where it could be decomposing more in an open bay, and rodents won't be such an issue. I mean, ideally we'd have it enclosed the whole way, but I'm trying to keep costs down as well. So all of this, if these were all full, it would be 24.4 cubic yards of material, and that's just under the 25-yard limit for small-scale sites. And then mapped out very much not to scale, but generally, like this whole area is 70 feet, so it's like
Right.
half of that. And then we could add a storage shed, and then I was thinking a tumbler would be good to capture overflow food that we haven't put in the pile yet.
This is so cool.
I'm not going to go all over this whole math problem that I did, but I talked to Harvest Cycle, who does community composting in Providence, and kind of just gauge what their capacity is, how much they bring in weekly, and how much they're able to process. They do, I think, 85% of their food scraps due to remix organics, and they can only compost on site at 15% because they have pretty small scale, but they service 800 households a week. So they take in 6,000 pounds of food a week, and they only process so much of that. But using their recipe and using their general gauge of about 7.5 pounds a week or 1.5 gallons a week per household, at max capacity, if we're really cranking it out and filling a bin every week and moving it, and it's hot and it's moving, we could potentially take food from 96 households, but that would be much further down the line once things are established and moving. But to start, I kind of broke down in phases how we could set it up. Again, always open to ideas and feedback from the community. I will be very open to feedback from the community, but starting small with just 20 to 30 households, maybe just the community garden members. They bring their food scraps, and we just kind of see how it goes. Down the line, we could bring in school people from the school, households from the school, or even I don't really know if I want to compost school food yet, but that's an idea. And then slowly adding over several months at a time to see what our capacity really is.
Yep.
And then, hey, if 2 years of this, or I don't know what our timeline is, but if it's successful, maybe we can then find an additional site. I did start pricing stuff out. This is just tools, and that's $1,000, including a storage shed, and lots of tools. And then I did start pricing out the infrastructure, but I'm not a woodworker, so it was really hard to figure that out. But I think we could build, 4 open bays and 4 enclosed bays for less than $3,000, but depending on how it's built up, and that's just the materials. An example: Harvest Cycle recently had a 3-bin system that was 3 by 3 by 3 by 3. Built at a site in Providence. It was $900 in materials and $1,800 in labor. So if we could get volunteers, Boy Scouts.
The carpentry CTE at the high school, this might be a perfect project for them.
Too. Yes, exactly.
If you go quick, then my senior can be part of it too. But the teachers at the high school, Mr. Shaw and Mr. Swanson, are really fantastic resources for you for this.
Sorry, I had to. There's a Mr. Swanson carpenter at the school. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know if you all watch Parks and Recreation, but
Oh,
there's a
not
reference to
much,
that.
but okay.
There's
Yes, there
Ron
is,
Swanson
I think,
and-
right? Mr. Swanson and Mr. Shaw? Unless, it's very possible that I'm screwing up their names.
Okay,
But,
no,
yeah, just there's definitely resources
Yeah.
in the district for that, so.
Cool. And I'm not sure yet, I asked Rich, the director, about like what the rules are on like getting, you know, would Arnold Lumber donate lumber? I don't know what the rules are on that, so about getting donations and like sponsorships for the town, so it's a little unclear, but that was an idea.
They'll probably be more likely to give it to a school, so.
Well, that's the thing though, it's not really the school, it's the
But if
community
this,
garden.
right, but if the
community garden.
CTE program, if the
Oh, I
CTE
see.
students are building it, it's their learning, because they have to do, they do some like pretty incredible things, especially at the higher levels. So anyway, I don't know, we'll talk more when
That's good,
details.
that's great, it's great.
There's always
I think
pallets.
there's people, yeah.
There's always
Yeah.
pallets, yeah.
Yeah.
Plenty of pallets
That's
around.
true.
That's
Um,
what ours is made of.
And I just,
Yeah.
I just kind of outlined some of the labor, weekly labor, that would be mostly volunteers, on just like turning the pile, building the pile, collecting, probably just one time a week collecting, the scraps, and then there would be some administrative work, partly done by me, which is fine, because I like that stuff. What would be the measures of success? The feedstock contributions are consistent and contamination-free. There's consistent volunteer participation. There's minimal pest issues. There's decently quality compost, and there's no complaints from neighbors. That's really key. And I would collect data as well, all the material brought in, all the produced, all the labor. And then just an alternative site, when I was scouting out the Broad Rocks area, I also saw this I went to the recreation center, and there's this I have no idea what this is, but there's like a little road that goes from the parking lot to the field that I was looking at, and it's kind of like a concrete or like semi-paved area. Doesn't seem to be utilized. Hey, maybe that's an option, just look for town property.
Do you know what that is, Mark? Is it just the cut through from the rec center to to Broad Rock?
No, it's not the Broad Rock, it's to
To
the
the-
play fields that are behind the rec center.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
East, I guess.
yeah.
So
Yep.
if you go down that
Broad
bike path
Rock
that's
is up
there.
here.
it's not right
There is a trail that goes that way to Broad Rock, but.
Yeah.
There's one that used to go to the Commons, right?
Did used to go to
It
the
does go,
commons.
the bike path goes to the commons, yes.
Yep.
Oh, that's the bike
And
path
then-
now.
Oh, yeah,
That's right.
yes.
It's been so long.
And then there is this garden at the Wakefield Elementary School. That's, where there's the bike path over here, the river here. I'm gonna talk to Patty Alley, I guess, who runs that, and maybe that's an option, but it is a much smaller site, and with the whole school being up in the air, I don't think it would be
Not a
very,
good plan right now.
yeah.
But,
Oh,
but in,
sorry, I didn't know.
Just to double check this with me, the one that.
So, and there could be more,
Ooh,
sites.
Cool.
that's nice.
That's awesome.
So that's
exciting.
And now the thing is, I don't know what the next steps are, like who I have to ask. So I think my next step is, I do know a teacher at the Broad Rock Middle School who's spearheading the composting with the school recycling project. So she seems like a good
Yeah.
person to talk to. I don't know anyone at the community garden though. I think they would also be the first people to talk to. So I don't know.
Does
if
anyone know
else
anyone
knows
from-
anyone.
I know that Peter Swain has a plot there, and he was involved, I think, in the administration of it at some point, but isn't now, but he would know who is.
Is David Floyd still involved?
I don't know, because he was involved in kind of getting it going, but I'm not sure.
I don't know anyone else.
I see him on Fridays sometimes. All right, so I can,
So yeah, because I guess they would be the first people to say like, can I even do this? How do y'all feel about it? Present them, get
Yeah.
their feedback,
Mhm.
and then talk to the school, because technically it's school property, I guess. It's like, I can't really
School
tell it's school
administration, I
and
think.
town.
Yeah, I would think so.
They might be, rightly so, they would probably be hesitant to have, people coming on the site to do this, but most of our work would probably be on the weekend. And
Right.
that's why we'd also start small with community garden, people who are already coming,
Mhm.
and then school, people at the
Families.
school, families. So just gonna kind of slow roll that in there.
Sounds like a wonderful plan.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
it really
is.
does. It's
Um,
it's really I'm really excited about it.
And then, of course, where the money comes from is the other big question.
oh,
Right.
I can help you find that.
Okay, I'll
You
take
know
you
about
up on
grants
that.
for this kind of,
I know, yeah.
that would be bricks
There's-
and mortar too? Actually,
Yeah.
Champlin might be interested.
Champlin, although Champlin does like big things,
Bigger.
but like Ocean State Charities Trust and what was the other one? Pepito Opportunity Connection. If you can connect it to like if there was something like where families that are on like free and reduced lunch had first
Oh, yeah,
dibs at it, that kind of thing.
yeah,
But yeah, we can talk.
okay, that sounds good.
Wearing my other hat, my RIA hat.
Yeah, there you
Sustainability
go.
committee hat. Happy to help you with that. It's not that, I don't think it's gonna be that much money, it's just.
I feel like
setting
it
up
could
the
be
system.
like $5,000 for the whole thing, and then the rest would be my work, which is my work, and
Right.
volunteer work, so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In
the
a
only
perfect
thing I'm a
world.
little concerned about is the how long volunteer efforts would last.
Mhm.
I think at some point, it's worth thinking about, are there grants that could help pay
Mhm.
for some of the labor
a
to
site
do, especially
operator.
the heavy stuff? Or at the very least, find out what kind of like heavy equipment the town already has that might be able to be used like on a weekend or something for
Yeah.
moving things around and stuff.
Well, the goal would be to not need heavy equipment. It would
Really?
be mostly, I mean, because the bins would be like 4x4x4, so they could be. The idea was to have them turned
Yeah.
by hand. Because I don't think you could fit that much machinery in that little. Anyway, but we'll see. Maybe
Okay.
a plow. A plow would have.
But I
to
think
plow
it's
it
a
out.
neat way to wrap in like because it's a good point. And then if you just think a little differently about like, well, is there a cost to people who are going to drop off their compost, and can they elect not to pay that, but then
Yeah.
sign up for a few sessions of volunteering,
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah, like a co-op model.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know, something or volunteer hours from
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
community
Yeah.
service hours that people have to do instead of
Yeah.
paying a fine or going to jail.
Yeah, I would. In my ideal world, I wouldn't want to. It would be like maybe a donation only option. I don't really want to have to pay.
Yeah.
Like have
Yeah.
a subscriber, especially because it's town. It's like a town
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
But yes, I like the idea.
But
of
like Honor
working-
Society,
Yeah.
Junior Honor Society is at Broad Rock Middle School. I mean, that you'll have some kids, not, I was going to say tons of kids, and I was like, no, they're not all like my
Playing the
kids.
dirt?
We're like, yay, compost! Like,
Yeah,
but
right.
you know, a few hours here and there. Like, I think there's ways to, but just go into it with eyes open about needing
Yeah.
volunteering.
No, that is always the.
So would you limit the type of compost you could drop off? So like
Yes.
Black Earth, you can throw bones and fats and everything else.
Yeah, it would have to be just
Or-
plant material, and yeah, no grease, no bones, no meat, no fish, no dairy.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, is a bummer, but then people can put the rest in the Black Earth
Right.
compost. That's what I do. I put my, certain stuff in my yard, and then the cooked stuff goes into the Black Earth
Yeah.
bins. But, yeah, so I don't know. And if anyone's interested in seeing in action, Harvest Cycle does it in Providence, and it's pretty cool.
Is that the one associated with groundwork?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
They do it, they pick up with bikes too, right?
Yes.
They bike around and pick it up.
Really?
Like
Yeah.
trailers. It's so
Yeah.
freaking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
One
That's great.
question: what about shells?
Shells.
I bought a lot of compost from Murner's farm,
Yeah.
and my soil is too alkaline and nothing has been growing. So I have been picking out shells, and I have a lot of shells, and I don't know. I mean, if your soil is acid, it's a wonderful soil
Yeah, yeah.
supplement, but if it's too alkaline, it's not good.
Yeah.
What shall I do with it?
That's a good question. There is a oyster I forgot what it's called. I worked an event where we collected oyster shells, and then this company picked them up because they rebuild oyster beds using oyster shells. But I can't remember what
It's not oysters.
It's Aquaneck, like oyster farm or something like that. You might be able to donate there. Or
You can
use
always
it as
drop
mulch.
them off in my backyard in my compost that I don't pay attention to at all.
I mean, they're not really. They're more like they're not really compostable, but they're more like a bulking agent. But
Yeah.
But I could ask Black Earth. Maybe they are interested in like alkaline material.
Yeah, you
Pick
can
them
ask
all
them.
out, Christine? Did you pick out all the?
Good Lord.
And, you know, it's an
Like a
ongoing
needle in the
work.
haystack, a
It's
shell in a compost
ongoing
bin.
work.
Oh, there's a lot of them, I know. I don't think I'm gonna get Myrna's anymore.
Would you feel comfortable sending that presentation just so we can like
sure,
have it
yes.
to refer
and I can
to?
send the first one too, because I know you didn't see it. So.
Thank you. You might have already. And while we were sitting here talking, I was like, okay, did we email before? You came to a virtual lunch and learn.
Yes, I did.
Do you speak Italian? Were you
No,
one of those-
I was
There were like
in that
4 people on that
conversation,
virtual lunch
though.
and learn that all spoke
I was
fluent
not
Italian.
one
It
of
was
those
so
people,
weird.
unfortunately.
I'm not one either. I speak
I wasn't that one though.
un po' di Italiano. I was like, oh, that's why I kept looking at my phone. Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes,
Sorry to
thank
take
you
up
so much.
lots of time, but thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's awesome.
great to-
yeah, this is great.
to know what's going on.
Yeah, and you can, but you're welcome to stay if you'd like. But anyway.
You don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah, right, it's a beautiful evening, summer evening. What else is there to do?
Thanks, Charlotte.
Okay, so the next is, so we've gotten a few
Yes.
kind of invitations from former committee members to, oh, come learn about this, come learn about that. One of them was this next app. It's an AI app called Kilowatt. I met with the guy who does that, who knows, I think Tony, I'm not sure if it was Tony or Mark Kravitz. It was one of them. But basically, and it's an easy app to, you can look it up on your computer and just see, although when you type in kilowatt, it autocorrects and it takes you forever to get to actually that. It autocorrects to kilowatt. But it's a really interesting tool that will, just like the municipal aggregation program, like every 6 months does, okay, we're going to buy this much and this is the rate it's going to be. This AI app does it much more frequently, can do it as frequently, I think, as you want. So you can go on and manage your own electricity purchasing, and lock in at different rates for different time periods. That means that you're not in the municipal, bulk program that we've all been so happy that it exists, but this is a different approach. So, so you could, if you were the sort of person who, buys a lot of electricity, it's really a big expense for you, and you want to try to, play the market a little and figure out when, where to buy which power and lock in different things. It's worth looking at. I've got panels on my roof, so I don't really need to worry about that right now, but it's an interesting thing. It's for individuals, it's not really a committee issue, except that it will cause people to drop out of the,
Yeah.
Well, that's where I think you need to draw the line, because it was this committee that pushed that
Right.
aggregation program. So now if you're gonna start pushing this,
yeah, I don't intend to push it,
Yeah.
but,
okay.
I just wanted, it was something I did because it was one of our, former members said it'd be nice to know about this, but just so you know, it exists.
Who would want to do that? I'm
Right,
sorry.
just
Don't have a life.
check it out.
Oh my God! I'm like, you should go volunteer at the new community compost if you have that much time.
No, is it clean energy? Is it all clean?
No.
No, yeah.
No.
So I don't think it's really something we should.
So, no, I don't, and it isn't, just what it is. It's an, individual purchasing
Yeah.
electricity, through this AI
Look at anyway.
product. It's a really interesting concept, but, and it kind of gives you a little look into, oh, what else can AI do that could actually really be useful, you know? And so,
Okay.
But it's, anyway, so that's what that is, just so we know. In the grocery store, I ran into a friend of mine who's on the Historic District Commission and said, let's get together and talk about, you know, what your committee does, what our committee does, so we know more about each other. So I assume everybody would think that's a good thing to do at some point, and I can get back in touch and see if he wants to come to one of our meetings, or if, I mean, I think a couple of us could meet with a couple of them and have a conversation about, are there, as long as we don't do quorum things, yeah.
2 quorum things.
Yeah.
See how much we
You know, just,
Robert's
and I
rules.
don't know what they're, and I think they have some thoughts, I know they have some thoughts about the Wakeville School site in
Mhm.
terms of what happens with that. So I think it would just be nice to know, because I'm not
Yeah.
sure what else they do, really, so, I'll, if that's okay with folks, I'll just get back in touch and say, yeah, let's either, do you wanna come to us, or us come to you, or do you wanna have a couple people meet with a couple
Yeah.
people and just have a conversation about what's possible or
Unless,
useful?
yeah, I think it's great, and unless I'm the only one that feels this way, I feel like just a couple members might be good to start, because I feel like that's a longer conversation versus like a specific idea or proposal or presentation or whatever. It might be, I say this knowing that I'm probably not going to be the person that meets in the middle of the day with them.
Yeah, right.
So I apologize. Like, if you want to invite them, I have no problem with that, but I think it might be nicer to just meet first.
Yeah,
And be like,
just
this is what we do,
scope
this is what you do, like,
right, is there
what
any
are you
place
thinking?
that we could collaborate
Yeah.
that would make sense? That's kind of what it is.
Mhm.
Okay, next one. So again, our former members, Tony and Mark,
They
sent
do this a
around
lot.
emails. I know, just trying to keep us busy, I
I know,
guess.
just come back on the committee then, Mark.
Sent us, and I had forwarded you all the,
Yes.
Mhm.
I don't even remember in what email that showed up. But anyway, this community investment cooperative thing with the local, it's something that individuals would become members of, if you want to look at the information they handed out. But it's also an interesting way to try to, I mean, for example, if there were enough people investing in this, you know, local return diversified community investment fund. But
Just rolls
But
right
let's say it had a whole bunch of people that put in some money, then, you know, you could go to them and apply and say, can we have $5,000 to help build this, you know, this model composting facility at Broad Rock, you know, so that's something that, you know, individuals would support, but then there would be a fund to which, you know, groups like us that want to get something done could go to ask for money. So it's worth knowing about. It might be worth our pushing a little to try to, you know, get there to be more of a, it's really just starting. Janine, you were there. Anything else?
Right now they're just in the initial investor phase, like trying to get investors and talking to people, and they've only raised like $300,000 and they want to raise, I think, $300 million. So it's really just at the beginning. And people who invest get a say in where the money goes. So it really is. It's a neat idea. I think right now it's not. It looks like to me like they have to get things up and running before we can like tap into it as a sustainability committee.
Yeah, and I think we'd be asking them for money as opposed to the other way around. You
Yeah.
know, you know,
And also,
it would
like,
be
it's not our
great.
place to, like, tell people in the
Where
town
to
as a
invest
sustainability,
money.
right? I'm like,
But
that's
so
cool.
this is just another thing where, you know,
And this is-
individually we might be interested in
This is
becoming
about
part of this.
economic sustainability of the community,
Mhm.
which is a very important thing.
It is.
Mhm.
But I don't think it's our business, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's good to know that
It's
it's
good to
there,
know,
and
yeah.
and hopefully it will be there long enough for us to get something from it. Okay. Workforce housing follow-up. So Did we send, I thought we had sent, maybe I think it was Gail though, had sent our comments that we had put together, and then Patrick had made some comments, and I thought it was Gail that was going to pull that together and send it to Peter.
I thought Elizabeth ended up sending it.
Oh, did she? Okay.
I think
But so
so.
she did, okay. So all I know is that that committee, the affordable, the collaborative affordable.
Is that who Peter?
Yeah.
Peter Swain?
Swain,
Is,
yeah.
Oh, Peter Swain. Yeah.
Yeah, he's all over the place. Is having some issues, and a couple members have left, and I don't think that they've had a meeting since we sent our comments. So I don't think there's any follow-up at this point, but I'm trying to stay in touch with him just to see, you know, what's gonna happen next.
You're talking about the committee.
The committee, yeah.
'Cause
And I don't, you might know more about that.
Well, I did get on the town website, and the planning director put together a memorandum, and they did mention one little thing about sustainability in the proposal, and it says they will put in native plant species. And
That's
they
it?
would, yeah, and also, let's see,
Are you serious?
this, you want me-
The
I'll read
only
it.
thing that they put?
Yeah, well, it's, yeah, environmental conditions and review process. The term environmental condition as used herein includes, but is not limited to, any hazardous and/or toxic substance as defined by any state or federal law, rule, or regulation, solid waste, petroleum or petroleum byproducts, endangered species of fauna or flora, archaeological feature or artifact, or any other matter, and it didn't print right, or site condition which may affect the development of the site. Wait a minute, it said something about native plant species, so they were gonna use native plant.
about South Road, or is it about?
Just about South Road, they haven't even gone any further than that.
I missed this long way. I'm sorry, Kim. It's
Oh,
the
no.
RFP for, is it RFP?
Yes,
or is it
RFP,
Yeah.
which is, what is that? stand for?
Request for proposals.
Proposal, okay. This is all
I'm
new
so
to me.
happy for you.
Was there any, was there any mention of, you know, the building and the energy sustainability?
No, I didn't see anything
Oh.
about that. I know I was looking and looking, I didn't see. But again, it's only in the, well,
Question, can we send in our contribution directly to them and say, well, we have not
can we?
seen any of our ideas here.
right, maybe the
Yeah.
committee must not have followed through, it looks like.
Well,
Okay.
and I think there's been some dysfunction, so that might,
Yeah.
so maybe it makes sense for us, maybe through you, to send our comments directly to
There's still
Jamie,
plenty of time.
to see if, can he
See what
incorporate any
happened
of
to them,
this?
yeah.
Yeah, and maybe he hasn't seen it,
Yeah.
so.
Doesn't look that way.
Did we get copied on that? Do you have a copy of those comments? I don't know
Let's see.
that I
I
ever
know
saw
that
them.
Elizabeth finalized them.
Let's see.
I should have them on my computer. I think I should, but I have to look for them.
So the order of operations here is.
Oh, here it is.
Oh, you found
No connection. What, I don't have Wi-Fi.
Here, do you want a hotspot?
Um,
It's like the best investment of my life, a mobile hotspot.
So I'd see an
SKE.
email from June 2nd, if you have that one. Jane.
I'm sorry, what?
June 2nd is the email that I have that I can't open.
Same
From,
here.
From,
Oh, here we go.
Well, it's just an attachment in that email.
Yeah.
I
From Mark, I
remember.
think.
I
know, I'm
remember.
trying to
Actually, I
just-
remember the final version that Elizabeth sent. That she sent off already, and I saw that one passage that I highlighted in red because we still needed to consult about
Oh, and
it
it was
in the
the
committee.
same?
It was still in red, But she did all the other good changes. But so if we resend it, I can send a clean copy without the red in it.
Okay.
But I don't have my computer here.
So can we send something this directly to Jamie, or would you like to do that just procedurally?
Yeah, you should, send it to me, and I'm gonna see him tomorrow, so I'll talk to him tomorrow about it.
Okay.
I can send it to you.
Okay.
So
Okay, can you copy the rest of us
sorry,
too,
trying to
so
do
we can
that.
see what it is? Okay, the final thing.
'Cause I'm
that's okay.
dorking out right now.
Great.
I mean, I have it all ready to go. I can just send it to you?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
I'll send it.
Send it to all of us
But-
if it.
Oh, right,
wasn't
that's right. you
Eliminate
want
the
to
red.
change it, yeah.
Eliminate the red.
Okay.
You want to do it?
Oh, all right, I'll eliminate the red.
Okay, all right. No, but I don't mean you delete it. You just turn it
Make
black.
it into black.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tim will send to Mark, and then you're gonna talk to Jamie.
I will tomorrow, yes.
Every once in a while, I go, I'm the one taking notes. Oh no. Okay.
I know, I'm sorry, here I am. What's the
No,
password, Janine?
That's okay. It's okay.
Sorry.
So I guess we can't approve minutes then, because we don't have a
Right, because Janine was,
quorum
can
of
do it next
people that
time.
were there.
right.
Although
The people that were there were Joanne,
Gail,
Well, Patrick wasn't a member then.
Kim,
Right.
So three
Joanne?
of us?
well, the 5 people at
No, because that's still not.
No, we are only
majority.
3
So,
years.
four.
no, but it's 3 out of 5. Because Joanne, Elizabeth, Gail, Christine, and Kim were at the last meeting, and 3 of the 5 of them are there.
Are here now. To,
Can you? It doesn't matter.
One was 4.
Out of the
yeah,
whole
but
committee.
I think approving minutes, it can be a majority.
Okay.
Whatever. We'll just do it next time. How about that?
Yeah, we could just,
Well, yeah, just to be safe.
I thought that's what we decided. That's what I wrote down here. Table.
Right, table. All right. I thought Elizabeth was gonna come.
Okay.
Anyway,
So
all
Kim's
right.
going to send to Mark. Mark's going to talk to Jamie.
Eliminate red copy.
Jamie Rabbit, the planning.
Oh yeah,
director.
that guy. He's important. I don't have a mind for remembering details.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Anything on the high school building project?
Yeah, I went to the last meeting, and I just want to bring up my notes. So the things that are pertinent to this committee are that the land swap application will be submitted ASAP. So this is swapping the pieces of land because the new high school is going to be built on the field, and then the old high school will be demolished in that field. So they have to do like a land swap in that
Right.
somehow.
There's
So
different ownership?
no, it's just what is like considered to be open
Restricted.
space and blah blah blah.
Yeah. Restriction, yeah.
So there's that, and then I checked, and they did say that this is what we come down to: bird safe glass, bike racks are still on the table, haven't been taken off the table.
Bike racks.
The
That would be an no-brainer.
School is required to be and will be solar ready. Maria Mack had reached out to me about some questions because it went through her committee. So it is solar ready, and it has to be. And then right now the budget doesn't allow for any kind of solar to be on the roofs, but it doesn't mean that in the future there can't be some kind of like capital improvement plan. Obviously that would mean raising funds or finding funds. So there's lots of great things about the new high school, and there could be more. And I'm just trying to keep tabs on it with listening to or going to the meetings, like watching the meetings or going to the meetings. But folks seem to still want to make it as sustainable as possible.
Okay.
Great, thank you.
I'm trying. I'm like, guess who's gonna make public comment? Me again. Okay.
Okay, and I guess Patrick is now official. He's a member of the committee. Sorry he couldn't be here today. And I mean, he'll introduce himself next meeting, but I think he'll be a good a good addition, and in particular in the energy realm. I think he knows a lot more about that certainly than I do. And so we'll grill him next time and see what he wants to do. Anything else? I guess our next meeting, Monday, August 18. We all look all right with that?
Calendar, yes.
Let's make sure we don't have any horrible things happening right away.
There's always time.
There's still time, right? Okay, is there anything else?
I want to gauge your guys' response to if we move upstairs to the council chambers, which would be a lot easier for this, we have to be on microphone. So
Yeah.
Oh,
that's the only drawback.
Individual microphones?
Yeah.
Where you push to speak
Yes.
the whole thing.
Oh,
And you
can
feel
we
like you're
not
at the
do
State
that?
House.
It's up to you guys if you want to still
So,
stay here.
I mean, what would be what would be easier upstairs?
It's just to push a button
Oh,
versus setting this all up.
uh-huh.
How long does it take you to set this up? I'm always the last one here, so I never know.
10 minutes. It's fine. Whatever you guys want to do. If you want to move
Well-
upstairs, you
Okay.
have to be on microphone.
is there
And
a way?
also, there is no circle. I mean, it would take away from
We
a.
would have to be in a straight line
Yeah.
across as a boardroom.
It's
Oh,
not.
ew.
It's not really. It's not conducive for a real consultation. It
And-
seems
and
to me,
discussion.
It's more like.
Because the camera is in one spot
Yeah.
and it just brought right down to the dais, so
Right.
we'd have to be in a straight line across the front.
I don't think that's who we are.
No.
Yeah.
I think, though, that if at some point this becomes more annoying to you, you could feel free, at least to me, to bring it back up again.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Or
Yeah.
if we want, if at some point, if we want to have like a presentation, like something that we want to be aired to the community, and maybe
Yeah.
that could be somehow advertised, that, you know, like
Well, if you
in
meet with
some
another
point
committee
across,
or-
so,
Yeah.
yeah.
so
Yeah, yeah.
You can have opposing tables.
Things to throw.
Debate.
I'm a great debater.
You are?
Chocolates.
I'm not.
Okay, so unless there's anything else, can we adjourn? Do we have a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor? Yes. Okay, adjourned at 7:00.